Good morning, Harmony and Consolidated. This is Mr. Calvert again. Today I'm going to talk to you about an artist that's going to tie in with your art project for the next few days. And our artist of the day, his name is Awol Erizku, kind of a different name. So Awol Erizku. And Awol, he is still living. I mean, actually, he's very young. He's only 31, so he's just a few years older than I am, which is pretty cool, talking about an artist that is that young. And he originally comes from a country called Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is a smaller country in Africa, which is right here. Here's Ethiopia. He comes from the capital of Ethiopia, which is Addis Ababa, if I think I'm saying that right. And then we would be way over here in Wisconsin. Now, he spent most of his life in the United States, though, and he grew up in a place called the Bronx, which is a suburb of New York City. So kind of like right out in this area is where he spent most of his life. And he is a photographer, so we don't talk about a lot of photographers in my class. So he does his art by taking pictures. And he's had the opportunity to actually work with a lot of really famous celebrities, people like Donald Glover, or if you've ever heard of the rapper named Childish Gambino, that's who that would be. Viola Davis, who is an actress, and then he also did the pregnancy photos for Beyonce when she was expecting to have her baby. She hired Awol to actually take pictures of her. And I'm sure most of you guys know who Beyonce is. This is a fabulous singer. So when we look at his photographs, oftentimes he likes to base his photographs on portraits from the past. We would call these like old master paintings. People like Leonardo da Vinci, like Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo, or excuse me, I already said Leonardo, Donatello. You know, those people that our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are named after, they were called master artists, and they lived about 500 years ago. A lot of times he likes to base his photographs on paintings from the past. He kind of reminds me of Kehinde Wiley. My third graders should recognize that name. He was a painter who oftentimes painted black people in positions that he found or in poses that he found in old master paintings as well. So we did self-portraits based on Kehinde. Awol is kind of similar, except he does his using photography. And oftentimes too, he'll not only base his artworks on old master paintings, but he'll also do some other like sculptural artworks that are based on contemporary artists as well. Now this this photograph we see here, this is actually of Beyonce, the singer. This was one of her pregnancy photos that she did. And you can see that she's wearing a veil and she has these big flowers behind her. What Awol is trying to do is kind of trying to make her look like Mother Mary. If for those of you guys who go to church, probably know Mother Mary as Jesus's mom. He's typically, when we see pictures of Mary, she has like a bluish veil. Oftentimes we see her kind of surrounded by flowers, kind of showing how like pristine and pure Mary was. So here we see how he's kind of portrayed Beyonce in that same manner. Another one he based his artwork on was this sculpture off to the right. This is an artwork by an artist named Donald Judd. And Donald Judd's a minimalist, which means he makes his artwork really simple. We can see Awol's interpretation of that on the other side, where he's taken that and changed it into basketball hoops. And I know you can't see it in the picture, but actually the netting on all of the hoops is actually 24 karat gold that he made into like a chain net, actually. So you can see the similarities between the two and how he drew inspiration from Donald Judd. And then another one was these jerseys based on the Oakland Raiders, or now the Las Vegas Raiders. But instead, on the back of these jerseys, he actually put the names of famous artists that have inspired him. So here we actually see Judd right here, that artist that we just saw. This is Duchamp, who's another very famous artist too. So these are kind of a way to honor artists that have influenced his career. Now, some of his photographs that I was talking about that are inspired by master paintings, I did put them side by side so you can kind of see the similarities between them. This is a painting by an artist named Caravaggio. I think it's called The Sick Bacchus, if I remember correctly. And we can see the man holding the the grapes, and he's got these leaves around his head, and then you can see how Awol, he's kind of updated a little bit. You know, he's still wearing something around his head. It looks like it's a headband or a cap. And he's holding grapes, and we see some fruit down on the table as well, just like we saw in the painting. Some of you guys might recognize this. Second and third grade have actually seen this painting on the right before. This is a painting by Leonardo da Vinci of a woman holding, I think it's called an ermine, which is kind of like a weasel. And then how Awol has interpreted that with this young black woman and her new puppy that she'd actually just gotten. And we also see too that use of like a necklace on there. And then one more. This is a very famous painting by an artist named Vermeer. And it's called, I think it's called The Woman with the Pearl Earrings. It's kind of hard to see, but there's actually a little pearl earring right here, this kind of blue headband with this piece coming off the back. And now he's kind of reinterpreted that. His is the woman with the bamboo earring. You see this little bamboo earring kind of shaped like a heart hanging from her ear. Obviously very similar to the painting. Right, so this was Awol. All right, remember this is going to be, hopefully you guys found some inspiration. You're actually going to be basing your next art project on Awol Erizku and his photographs. All right, so make sure to read that over so you know what the assignment is too. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. All right, have a good one, guys.